Hello and welcome to the Bendigo Greyhound Racing Club, the Ready to Race auction series. The heats have been run this afternoon and I'm joined here by Troy Harley, the Bendigo Club manager. It was a good day of racing this afternoon.
Yeah, it certainly was, James. I think there'll be plenty of options for buyers, potential buyers on the weekend, depending how few of the dogs back up in the finals. But a couple of fast ones, a couple of disappointing ones and a few middle of the road, so I think there'll be something for everyone.
Something for everyone, some cheap, some expensive. Of course, explain how the Ready to Race takes place up here.
Yeah, the heats were on today, obviously, and finals will be on Saturday. Most of them will be grouped as far as their times and their wins go, and basically they'll go around again on Saturday morning, and then about an hour and a half after the last trial, which will conclude about 12:30, 12:45, we're starting to auction them off at 1:30, and basically they'll go from there as far as the auctions go, right through from lot to one through to about the 104 we got.
And now it's important that we find our viewers out there a couple of dogs that they can come up to Bendigo and purchase. So looking through the races, I've come up with a couple myself. I thought a couple of the quicker runners, Senor in race number 1 was very impressive, got down to 24:11. Heat number 2, Max Moon, was the fastest qualifier as well, going 24:08 and looked quite impressive as well.
He did look impressive. He's of course has won a Maat at the Meadows. He's been around a few times. He's one of the race dogs that have gone through the series, and he has gone a lot better than that on occasion here on private trials as well. That I'm sure that the connections won't mind us saying that. He's a nice dog, definitely, and he went very well. And as I say, he has had a couple of starts and he can run 500. He's run 30 and 40 odd at the Meadows, so he will certainly be at the top end of the buying market.
Indeed, and of course next year you've got the Ready to Race auction series final, which takes place at Sandown Park. This year won by Kiss Me Katuk, going from strength to strength, that greyhound, taking the $20,000 Ready to Race final. So you're looking for a greyhound who's strong, Troy, and Max Moon could possibly fit that build.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you're going to sort of pay that sort of money, you want your dog to be breaking the 12.7 home, 12.70 odd home. I think that 12.70 to 12.80 is a nice range for a dog that can be handy enough. If you think they're going to go to town and run 500, they've really got to break 12.70 at this stage of their life, and that's one thing that Kiss Me Katuk did last year. He was very impressive. I think he got the line in 12.54 or 55, and he wasn't that flash overall time, but the way he did it was very good, and of course he was always going to look like a nice dog 12 months later.
That's right. The strength at the end of a race is very important when you're looking at younger dogs, because the majority of big races, top line money, looking at the Melbourne Cup, they're all over 500 metres, where these trials are taking place over 425. So very, very important to have a strong dog at the end of the 425. Now, who did you come across as some cheap buys, some good buys, and some sort of expensive buys as well?
Yeah, I sort of probably looked more at the middle of the range dogs. I thought ground like Gray's Hand went very good. It found the line in 12.68. Looked like there's a bit of improvement in it. I wouldn't have thought that it's had a hell of a lot of polish put on at this stage. It looked like a very inexperienced ground, and certainly one that could be worth buying. I thought Turbine was very impressive. It probably had the benefit of a wide draw. It sort of missed the kick and then showed a lot of speed, but went 24.21. And one that got beat is probably in the cheaper value, a ground called Missy that was in race 16. It got beaten about a length and a half. Was probably going to win the trial until it got checked trying to get a run along the inside on the home turn. I think probably for a grand in the $3,000 or $4,000 market, that mightn't be a bad buy as well. But I think it's probably 8 or 9 nice buys ranging from that $5,000 to $10,000 mark.
Well, then we've got a bit of everything, a bit of every prize for everyone out there. Look, I've come across a couple as well who were beaten. One later on in the day was Chloe's Hand, race number 15. She was in greyhound number 1. She copped a very nasty prat on the corner, but I like the way she peeled to the outside. She found the line, she attacked the line really well, and based on that, I think she could be a good buy. Very, very cheap, maybe around the $3,000 or $4,000.
And that could be a nice heat, because the winner Heidi went very good as well at the opposite way. It showed very good speed and did everything right, straight to the front from the moment it went round, and went 24.19. And didn't probably find the line as good as what you want to be paying enormous amounts of money, but of course the benefit of grounds racing in Victoria, all your races from $3.90 right through to $4.50 are still good prize money earners, and if you can pick up a ground that's got plenty of speed, find the front more often than not, you're going to win plenty of prize money as well. So if you can find one of those grounds that went good overall and showed a bit of pace, not pay the expensive money for it, but you can still have a bit of fun.
It does. It definitely helps to have good early pace. You see a lot of greyhound races, if you can get out on the bunny, you go a long way to winning. Of the others, I didn't mind one, a Hot Carbon, who went round in race 3. The mid-race sectional was outstanding, got down to 11.40 off the back, which I think was probably the quickest, if not one of the quickest throughout the day. Weekend to run a 24.38, so you may have to spend around 7 or 8. If you can get a Hot Carbon at that price, I think would be a good buy as well.
If you're getting down the 11.40, you're going very well. I mean, you look at Black Magic Opal's going to start a long odds-on favourite on Thursday night in the Melbourne Cup. He gets around here and he's 11.30, so you're only a length and a half behind Black Magic Opal at the second split, which would be nice to handy to do for a dog you can pick up for 5,000 or 6,000.
Well, if you could do that and get the strength of Black Magic Opal toward the end of the races, I think you'll have a very good dog indeed. Of the other ones, I thought Doc went really well as well. Probably, look, in my opinion, I think Doc was the main one I'd be chasing. I think you'd probably have to spend a big price for him. He was very young. 16 months of age, and speaking of the age, Troy, it helps the younger they are because they mature, they get quicker, they grow and they develop into race dogs the older they get.
Yeah, definitely. If you're clicking on the replays and watching the replays from this morning and again on Saturday, you'll notice quite a few dogs make a lot of mistakes getting around the turn. They have a bit of a look around. There's a set of 660 metre boxes half up the straight. They might have a bit of a gander at that and find the line again in the last 50 yards. And I think the experience is an important thing. Those greyhounds like Max Moon, they've had the benefit of race experience and you're going to get a dog to nominate the next week. But the younger dogs, be a little bit more patient, you can pick up a bargain.
Well, the bargain is what we're after here at the Bendigo Ready to Race Auction Series. Now, GRV have supplied us with $20,000 of fake cash. I wish it was real, but it's not. How are we going to spend this $20,000 starting with you, Troy?
Mate, I'll probably try and find 3 or 4 dogs. So I'm spending between the 3,000 and up to 8,000 or 9,000 for the couple. I'd go for Greyhound, which won off box 1 in race 11. Went the 24.38, 12.68 is probably the top end of my selections to spend out of that 20 grand. I'd go for Missy, try and pick it up for 3,000 or 4,000 and get a nice little handy dog that might be improved. And in the last heat that we had in today, the first and second dogs, I thought both went quite good. Dr. Niblet and Piff and Yonnies. They went 24.38. They proved themselves that they were a gutsy type. So happy to have dogs inside and outside them in the run. And I think if you pick up one of those two and you know, maybe buy those 3 or 4 dogs for that 20 grand, you have a bit of fun.
You're not wanting to put all the eggs in the one basket. Well, in a way, I'm thinking I might just do that. I liked Doc. I liked him a lot. I think if you could get him for maybe 14 or 15,000, you may come up with a Kiss Me Katut from last year. Of course, Kiss Me Katut was sold for $21,000, has earned over $100,000 since the Ready to Race Auction Series, and he goes around in the Melbourne Cup on Thursday night, $500,000 race. So maybe Doc could follow in the footsteps, and if that's the case, I think for around about the 15 grand, I'm going to put all my eggs in the one basket and hope Doc can salute. And if we can get him for 15, I think we'll have plenty of fun with him.
And if you end up with Kiss Me Katut, it's a very well spent 15.
I think you end up with a Kiss Me Katut with 3 legs, you'd be happy because he is absolutely flying at the moment. Well, that wraps up the review of the heats, of course, back here on Saturday. Troy, it's Bendigo. How do we go getting to Bendigo, the racetrack from Melbourne?
Yeah, nice and easy to find. It's on the McIver Highway at Judith, just out of Bendigo. So whichever way you come, whether you come through Heathcote or you come up the Calder, it's not too hard to find on the McIver Highway. Heading back towards Heathcote, and the first of the 24 finals will be taking place at 10:30 and the auction to start about 1:30.
So 10:30, be here at Bendigo. Make sure you hang around for the auction. You could come out with a greyhound ready to race. For new owners, if you're coming up here for the first time, you can sign up as a GRV owner on the day. So why not head to Bendigo Saturday the 23rd of November. It's going to be a big day here at Bendigo for the Ready to Race auction final.